Okay, this is Advanced Math Lesson 2-2, Linear Equations, Part 2. So it's the second half of the notes on linear equations. On this section, we are looking at x and y intercepts. Now, you should have done this before at some point. I believe we did it earlier in the year, so we're just expanding on it. A point at which the graph intersects the x-axis is called the x-intercept. Likewise, the point at which the graph intersects the y-axis is called the y-intercept. So in this particular graph on the right, notice our x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis, and that would be here. So that would be the point -3, 0. Okay, that's your x-intercept because it crosses the x-axis at that point. And the y-intercept is the other point, which is this one. So what is that? That's 4? Yeah. So our y-intercept is the ordered pair 0, 4. So notice for it to be the x-intercept, the y value has to be 0, and for it to be the y-intercept, the x value has to be 0. Now the x-intercept is also referred to as a root. You may have heard that. If they ask you for the root of something, they're wanting the zeros. Sometimes you hear it called zeros. It may be a root, it may be a 0, or you may hear it called the solution of the equation. Okay, all of these basically mean the same thing. If they're asking you for the root, the zeros, or the solutions, they're asking you for the x-intercepts. Now, on the next little part, it says find the intercept algebraically. Well, to do that, you just let y be 0, solve for x. And then to find the other one, you let x be 0, solve for y. So like on this example here, if we have y equal to 2x, negative 2x plus 5, if I want the x-intercept, that means I have to let y be 0. And then I solve this equation for x. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. And then divide by 2, so we get 5/2. You can leave it like that. If you divide it out on your calculator, I think you get 2.5. I'm okay with that also. So that means this is 5/2 and 0 for our x-intercept. Now the y-intercept, you're just letting x be 0 and then solving for y, so you get y is 5. So this y-intercept would be 0, 5. So notice that you're getting two ordered pairs here. Now on the problems here, it says directions, find the x-intercept and y-intercept of each equation, then graph the equation using the intercepts. So if I were going to, okay, so number 3, again, this one, let's see, if we're letting y be 0 to find our x-intercept, I'm going to add the 3x to both sides so I don't have to deal with that negative right there. Then I would divide by 3, and you get 16/9. So if you put that in your calculator and divide it out, you get 1.7, and that 7 repeats. So it's about up in there on the x-axis. And then the other, to let y be 0, to let x be 0 to find the y-intercept. Then y is 16/3, which is about 5.3, and the 3 is repeating. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a little bit. So it kind of looks like this. I know it's really hard to draw the lines here, but if we were in the classroom, we would use our ruler and use paper and have it so much more accurate. Okay, so now we're on to number 4. Now this one, this is in standard form. So this is the ones I would prefer to use the x and y intercept for. So I like these much better, because if I do the x-intercept and I'm letting y be 0, it's 4x equal to 8, so x is 2. So this one's a little bit easier because it's a whole number, not a fraction. And then to find the y-intercept, I'll let x be 0. And I get negative y equal to 8, so y is negative 8, so it's 0, negative 8. So that's way down there at the bottom, which is here. So that means our line would look like this. All right, number 5. Same thing again. Let y be 0. Oh, I don't like when it doesn't give me nice, pretty whole number answers. So this would be 4.8, I believe, if we divide it out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and almost to the 5. A point so big it's kind of hard to tell where exactly that dot is. And then if I let the x be 0, then that gives me negative 4y equal negative 24. And if I divide by negative 4, I get 6. So 0, 6. I like when it's nice, pretty whole numbers. It's so much easier. All right, so it looks like this. Oh, wow. Look at number 6. It's got fractions, y'all. Do you remember how to get rid of fractions? Yeah, you multiply by the LCD, right? Multiply every term by the LCD, the least common denominator. What's the least common denominator between 3 and 4? Yeah, 12. Okay, so we're going to multiply every term by 12. So basically I'm saying 12 times 3/4 x minus 12 times 1/3 y, and equal to 12 times negative 2. So if you multiply that out, you get 9x minus 4y equal to negative 24. So do that first. It'll make it so much easier. Just multiply by the LCD. Now we can find our intercepts. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it over here. X-intercept, I'm letting y be 0. So I'm left with 9x equal to negative 24. So x would be negative 2.6 with a bar. When I find the y-intercept, x is 0, so now I'm left with negative 4y equal negative 24. Oh, that looks familiar. It's the same answer on that part. Yay. Okay, but this part's different because it's a negative. All right, so negative 2.6 is about here. 6 is about there, so it's like that. Pretend that's one line. Alrighty, last one. And this is another one with fractions. So let's multiply by the LCD, which is 12. So basically I'm saying 12 times 5/2 x plus 12 times 5/6 y equal 12 times 6. So this gives me 30x plus 10y equal to 72. All right, so when I go to find my intercepts, then I've got, if y is 0, then I have 30x equals 72. So, what is that, 2.4, I believe? And then if I let x be 0, then I get 10y equals 72. So y is 7.2. So 0, 7.2. So 2.4, it's about right here, a little past that. And then the other one is a little past 7 on the y. Can't really tell that too well, can we? There we go. All right, we have finished the second part of the notes. Have a good day.